Do you ever feel like no matter what perfumes you wear, none of them ever last on you? Do you ever feel like certain perfumes will last forever on somebody, yet you wear them and you feel like it disappears off your skin in like an hour? These are all the questions that I'm going to be answering in this video. Most of the time, what's happening when you think your fragrance is just disappearing off of you, most people think that certain perfumes don't last on them because it's a bad perfume, it's a poor performing perfume, but the real reason is way more technical than that. A lot of the times, it has nothing to do with the fragrance itself, but usually a combination of what's happening on your skin, in the air, and even in your brain that's making your fragrance disappear. Once you understand the reasons that I'm going to be talking about in this video, you will realize why some perfumes last all day on others, but they fade on you in an hour. These are the real reasons why your perfumes are not lasting, and these are the reasons that no one talks about. Let's get started. First reason why your perfume is not lasting is temperature. Temperature completely changes performance of a perfume. So think about what kind of climate that you live in. Do you live in a hot and humid climate, or do you live in a colder climate or a dry climate? Whatever the case, perfumes behave totally different to heat than they do to cold. So if you live in colder weather, this will mean that your scent is going to stay closer to your skin. It will last longer, but it will project less and feel like it's just not as strong as it would in the heat. There's also a big downside to the heat because although initially your fragrance may seem really strong, the heat burns the fragrance off faster. So essentially it evaporates off of your skin a lot quicker, making it fade a lot faster than it would in a colder climate. So especially if you're in a hot climate, or now that we're coming into summer, the best way to go about this to not have your scent fade super quickly is don't just rely on spraying perfume on your skin. Spray perfume on your clothes because fabric holds onto scent a lot longer than your skin does, and also fabric isn't as affected by body heat. So overall, in the summer especially, focus more on spraying your clothes to get your scents to last instead of your actual skin. And in the cold, you pretty much do the opposite. So spray it more on your skin and rely on that body heat to kind of heat up the fragrance so that your body heat helps push the scent out more. So focus more on your pulse points than on clothes, pretty much doing the opposite that you would in the heat. Second reason why your scents are not lasting is you are judging longevity way too early. Perfumes are not meant to smell the same the entire time. They are designed to evolve in stages. When you first spray your perfume, you're getting hit with those top notes, which are usually the really bright, attention-grabbing scents. They're the scents that are meant to impress you right away. This is also why people oftentimes buy the wrong kind of fragrances, because when you go into stores, you're oftentimes misled by the top notes, because you'll go and spray your perfume on you and you get hit with those top notes and you think it's great and you buy it, but then you go home and it turns into a completely different scent. When your perfume eventually transitions into the heart and the base notes especially, that is what is going to last on your skin. And it's the scent that will last on your skin for hours and hours. It's not that opening. So if you find that the opening goes away right away, that's not because it's a poor performing scent. It's because it's not what is designed in perfumery to last the longest in the wear time of a scent. So oftentimes when people get a perfume and those initial notes fade off, they immediately jump to the conclusion that the perfume itself just doesn't wear well, but your perfume is not gone. It's just changed into something else. And a lot of the time that dry down is usually a little bit softer and warmer, and it sits a little closer to the skin, so it doesn't project as much as those initial top notes, making you think that the scent is not really there, but it is. It's just way closer to the skin because you're not constantly noticing it unless you really like smell yourself. So that's why you may think your perfume disappeared, but someone standing right next to you can definitely smell your perfume. This leads me to the next point, which is olfactory fatigue. This is why you might think your scent is not lasting on you a long time, whereas maybe you smelled it on somebody else and it smelled good and smelled strongly on them all day, but you feel like on you it goes away within an hour. This is oftentimes something called olfactory fatigue, and it's pretty much just that you went nose blind to the scent. It doesn't mean that your scent disappeared, it just means your brain kind of turned it off. Your brain will filter out familiar scents over time to avoid overload. So after about 30 to 60 minutes, you may find that you don't notice your perfume anymore, but others definitely can. So your perfume did not fade, your brain basically just tuned it out. This is especially true if you're wearing perfumes with ambroxan and musks and ISOE Super, those more molecular type of scents, because they are the main scents that your brain tends to just filter out really fast. Which leads me to the next point, which is that certain molecules are meant to stay closer to the skin. It's not a poor performing scent, it's just a scent that's not meant to project like crazy. It's meant to be more of an intimate scent. And the perfect example of these types of scents are ISOE Super and ambroxan, which which are two of my favorite notes. These are your skin but better type of notes. They're the type of notes that work differently on every skin chemistry. These notes create that clean, expensive vibe, but in a very, very subtle way. Your perfume doesn't always have to scream out at people. You can smell just as good and have your scent just be closer to the skin, or have that beautiful, beautiful scent trail that you leave when you walk directly past somebody. That has happened to me so many times where I may not smell this person strongly right away, but they'll walk right past me and you catch that amazing whiff of a certain fragrance. I feel like sometimes those scents are even better than the scents that kind of scream out at you. The next reason why your scents may not be lasting is that your skin microbiome affects scents. Everybody's skin has natural bacteria and oils that interact differently with fragrance molecules. And when you spray your perfume doesn't just sit on your skin. It interacts with all those things. And that interaction can literally change how the perfume smells, how fast certain notes break down on the skin, and especially how long or not so long it lasts on your skin. And it's not just about your skin being oily or dry. I feel like the most common thing you hear when people say, oh, my perfume doesn't last, people will be like, oh, well, moisturize, because scent holds better onto oily skin than dry skin. And that is true, but that's not what we're talking about here. For example, some people naturally will break down fresh or citrusy perfumes really, really fast. So those kind of notes disappear almost instantly off of your skin. So if you find that fresher scents don't last on you, that can be a reason why. It's just that your skin microbiome is just not meant for those types of scents. I personally find this pretty true for me, because I find that a lot of fresh scents don't last on me, whereas they will last forever on other people. Like my mom, for example, she loves fresh scents and they work really well. I feel like this also has to do a lot with what kind of scents we like. It's almost like you know what you like based off of what is going to perform well on you, if that makes sense. I love sweet scents, and those are the scents that work well on me. It's not that I don't like fresh scents, but for the longest time I find them boring, or I just don't gravitate to a whole lot of fresh scents if there's not a whole lot of like personality there, as I always say in my videos. And those also happen to be the scents that don't wear well on me or don't wear a long time on me. So if you find that you don't gravitate towards certain perfumes, it may very well be that your skin microbiome, like there's a literal scientific reason why you don't like these scents, and that your skin microbiome just doesn't like them either. So for me personally, I feel like my skin microbiome loves sweet scents and it amplifies those scents. Also, if your skin has more natural oils, not just what you're putting on topically like lotions and stuff like that, but naturally, if your skin just tends to have more oil, then your skin will last longer. Whereas if you're somebody that has more dry skin, not so much. Even things like your diet, your hormones, your skincare, these things can also subtly affect your perfume performance. This next one's a big one, and it's that strength does not always equal longevity. A lot of the times we smell really strong perfumes and you automatically think it's gonna last forever, or you smell really fresh perfumes and it feels like it's softer and you think it's not gonna perform well, when that perfume can last forever, whereas this other super strong scent fades super fast. And that's because strength or weakness in perfumes does not equal longevity or lack of longevity. That strong smell that you get in the initial opening of your perfume is, like we said, it's those top notes. And top notes in perfumery are meant to be super strong. They're especially designed to be loud and attention grabbing so that you buy those perfumes right away when you're in a store and that's your first impression. But they also evaporate the fastest. So even though a perfume can smell super strong and powerful in the first 10 minutes of the opening, it can fade super fast after that. And same goes vice versa. For example, scents that are softer like amber, vanilla, these types of notes don't necessarily project as loudly, but they stick to your skin a lot more. So instead of judging your perfumes on strength and equating that to longevity, start to pay more attention to how that perfume wears over time, because loud does not mean long lasting and subtle also does not mean weak. And those are all of the little facts that I have for you today on why your perfumes may not be lasting. There's so many more. I can make more videos like this. I love these types of videos. I've been doing little sprinkles of these types of videos here and there on my channel, and I really love just diving into more of these scientifically proven facts, because it's fun talking about fragrance, but I also love to just know the reasonings behind why I love certain things or how things work, and I want to share that with you if you are interested in the same. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know any other interesting facts that you may know in the comments down below, but that is it for me today. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and turn post notifications on, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.